Different sentences with words. Part 1. Apple. She took a crisp apple from the bowl. She took a crisp apple from the bowl. The apple tree in the garden bore fruit. The apple tree in the garden bore fruit. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Book. He grabbed a book from the shelf. He grabbed a book from the shelf. The book on the table was open. The book on the table was open. She loved the smell of old books. She loved the smell of old books. Cat. The cat curled up by the fireplace. The cat curled up by the fireplace. Her cat often chased after mice. 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 Dog. His dog wagged its tail happily. His dog wagged its tail happily. She walked her dog every morning. She walked her dog every morning. The dog barked loudly at the mailman. The dog barked loudly at the mailman. House. They painted their house yellow. They painted their house yellow. The house had a red door. The house had a red door. The house was nestled in the woods. The house was nestled in the woods. Tree. The tree swayed in the wind. The tree swayed in the wind. Birds nested in the branches of the tree. Birds nested in the branches of the tree. She carved her initials into the tree. She carved her initials into the tree. Chair. He pulled out a chair from the table. He pulled out a chair from the table. The chair creaked as she sat down. The chair creaked as she sat down. The chair was too small for him. The chair was too small for him. Lamp. The lamp flickered before dying. The lamp flickered before dying. She turned on the lamp beside her bed. She turned on the lamp beside her bed. The lamp illuminated the room. The lamp illuminated the room. Moon. The moon shone brightly in the sky. The moon shone brightly in the sky. They danced under the moonlight. They danced under the light of the moon. She wished upon the moon for luck. She wished upon the moon for luck. Sun. The sun beat down on the beach. The sun beat down on the beach. She soaked up the warmth of the sun. She soaked up the warmth of the sun. They watched the sun set together. They watched the sun set together. Table. They gathered around the table for dinner. They gathered around the table for dinner. The table was set with fine china. The table was set with fine china. He leaned against the table casually. He leaned against the table casually. Flower. The flower bloomed in the spring. The flower bloomed in the spring. She picked a bouquet of wild flowers. She picked a bouquet of wild flowers. The flower wilted in the heat. The flower wilted in the heat. Car. He drove his car to work every day. He drove his car to work every day. The car sputtered and stalled. The car sputtered and stalled. She admired the sleek lines of the car. She admired the sleek lines of the car. Door. She opened the door to greet her guests. She opened the door to greet her guests. The door creaked on its hinges. The door creaked on its hinges. He knocked on the door impatiently. He knocked on the door impatiently. Pen. She wrote a letter with her favorite pen. She wrote a letter with her favorite pen. He doodled absent-mindedly with the pen. He doodled absent-mindedly with the pen. The ink ran out in the middle of the page. The ink ran out in the middle of the page. Pencil. He sharpened his pencil before the test. He sharpened his pencil before the test. She sketched a portrait with her pencil. She sketched a portrait with her pencil. The pencil rolled off the desk and onto the floor. The pencil rolled off the desk and onto the floor. Desk. She organized her papers on the desk. She organized her papers on the desk. He sat down at his desk to work. He sat down at his desk to work. The desk was cluttered with books. The desk was cluttered with books. Window. She closed the window to keep out the cold. She closed the window to keep out the cold. The window rattled in the wind. The window rattled in the wind. He peeked through the window to see outside. He peeked through the window to see outside. Computer. She typed furiously on her computer. She typed furiously on her computer. He turned on the computer to check his email. He turned on the computer to check his email. The computer crashed unexpectedly. The computer crashed unexpectedly. Phone. She answered the phone with a smile. She answered the phone with a smile. He dialed her number on his phone. He dialed her number on his phone. The phone rang incessantly. The phone rang incessantly. Clock. The clock on the wall struck midnight. The clock on the wall struck midnight. She glanced at the clock and realized she was late. She glanced at the clock and realized she was late. He wound up the old clock carefully. He wound up the old clock carefully. Hat. She tipped her hat to the stranger. She tipped her hat to the stranger. He donned his favorite hat for the occasion. He donned his favorite hat for the occasion. The hat shielded her from the sun. The hat shielded her from the sun. Shoes. She kicked off her shoes at the door. She kicked off her shoes at the door. He tied his shoes before going for a run. He tied his shoes before going for a run. The shoes pinched her toes uncomfortably. The shoes pinched her toes uncomfortably. A shirt. She buttoned up her shirt before leaving. She buttoned up her shirt before leaving. He ironed his shirt for the interview. He ironed his shirt for the interview. The shirt was stained from lunch. The shirt was stained from lunch. Pants. She slipped on her favorite pants She slipped into her favorite pants. He rolled up his pants to wade through the stream. He rolled up his pants to wade through the stream. The pants were too tight after the holidays. The pants were too tight after the holidays. Englito. All about learning English.